How much of this is actually a surprise?
Well, China is the world's biggest holder of US Treasuries, so there is a lot of attention paid to its movements in the market and its decision-making around whether to hold or to increase or to decrease Treasury holdings. So this is, though, a big surprise. No one's really heard about any movement in their decision-making, in their approach to Treasury buying over the past couple of months. It hasn't been a topic of discussion in the local media, for example. So this is an interesting scoop here from the team at Bloomberg in Beijing. What they're hearing from people who are privy to these officials' thinking and decision-making is that the spike in yields that we have seen in Treasuries has made them less attractive. But also, quite interestingly, is this factor that the US trade tensions, the possibility of trade friction may also come into play in their decision-making.
How much, again, you basically, say that this is largely two things. First of all, it could be a market reason, which they just see more attractively valued assets, or it could be also, as I don't know whether a punishment or, a concern for trade war. How and when do we find out what exactly is the thinking behind this?
We may never really find out. They're not exactly open with their thinking, and knowing China, it's probably a combination of both. I mean, obviously, they've got very savvy decision makers leading their decision-making when it comes to this stockpile, the world's largest, as you said. They haven't got people who don't know what they're doing and who aren't watching the markets in charge of this. So they've obviously noticed this big spike in yields. Obviously, the 10-year rising to the highest level since March. So, whether we get an official confirmation, though, it's probably not likely.
Okay, Emma, what I want to know, and this is a question the IMF always asks, if they're not going to buy U.S. paper, what do they buy instead?
That's an interesting question. Maybe they look elsewhere into other sort of benchmark bond markets, maybe in Europe, maybe in countries that are more politically attractive to them. Maybe they even look locally to investing in their own assets. They're really trying to develop the local market here, which is very big but very insulated to the outside world, given the restriction of access to foreign investors. So, that would be an interesting development to see where they might roam to if they did reduce the Treasury purchases.